Okay, we're in beautiful Santa Monica. The beach is literally behind the camera, and we're working with Stella today. Stella is a yellow lab who is reactive to people she doesn't know, not always, but lunging, barking. From observing her, she seems to be a little bit nervous, and I think what she's trying to do is she's trying to get the person to move away from her because she's nervous about them. Well, we're using a new technique, and this technique, what we're trying to do is teach Stella that there's another behavior that she can demonstrate to achieve the same goal. The goal being increase the distance between her and the other person, and the goal is basically for her to move away on her own. So I'm using some high-value training treats. We've been practicing the last couple of days. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit down in this chair. Stella's guardian is gonna approach, and I'm gonna hold still, and she's gonna get a couple treats. She's gonna get one for just coming and taking them, and then she's not gonna get the second one from each hand until she sits. During this, I'm not telling her what to do. I'm not micromanaging her. I want her to determine and figure out how to do this on her own. This is called behavior adjustment training. And the great thing is, instead of micromanaging your dog, you're helping your dog find a different way of achieving the same results. And in this case, making the person move away or increasing the distance. Instead of making the person move away, we ask the dog to move away. All right, so we have a dog coming here in a second, so we're gonna hold off because we don't wanna have any triggers. When you're doing this sort of thing, you wanna make sure you don't have any like leaf blowers or a lawnmower or a beeping sound or a fire truck siren or anything like that that can confuse the dog and can trigger a response we don't wanna have. All right, so you ready, Joe? So again, I'm gonna give one from each hand, and then I'm gonna wait for her to sit before I give her the second one. Actually, I have three in this hand, so we'll see how this goes. You ready? Now Joe's gonna make sure there's no tension on the leash, and we're gonna look for the tail to be medium height or lower. Now, while we were doing this, I kept my eyes closed when Stella was looking at me because I know that she's eye contact dominant. That sometimes sets her off. So if you have a dog that's reactive to human eye contact, you want to avoid a direct stare. That's a challenge to dogs. And then we were letting her linger. Joe was waiting to her guardian to see if she was going to be reactive. She wasn't. If she was, or she froze, or started licking her lips, or turned away, then or hackles go up, or tail goes up, those are signs that she's uncomfortable. If I move as the subject, I can trigger a response. So in that case, what we want the handler to do is to get the dog to come. We never want to put tension on the leash when we're doing this. We want to kind of make a kissing sound, like, or tap, or call the dog by name. Sometimes if you crouch down, we found that that works with Stella. But you want the dog to move away from the person on their own accord. You don't want to pull them, and you don't want to correct it. We want to make it a very positive, pleasant experience. Now, I'm using treats to kind of accentuate the pleasantness of the experience for Stella. But when I first met her, she was very reactive and just barking and lunging like crazy. Now you can see she's actually sitting down in front of me. And this is the power of positive dog training and waiting for the dog to go at its own pace of speed rather than forcing it on our pace of speed. That's usually when the dog, a lot of times we put dogs in bad situations. We take them around other dogs or people that they're going to be reactive, that the dog is going to be reactive to. So the dog starts to think, every time I go out on a walk with my handler, they're going to put me in a dangerous situation. So as soon as they exit the building, she's kind of looking around for danger. So by doing this and staging setups like this, we're helping her learn that that not every situation is something she has to react to. And matter of fact, she can affect the situation by moving away herself or offering other polite, non-confrontational behaviors like turning her head away, sniffing the ground, and things along those lines. So this is how you can use a behavior adjustment training to stop a dog from reacting to humans.